Okay, so I'm recording now, but I already talked about number one question is, do you want answers, or are you looking for excuses, a way out, a reason not to succeed, or a reason why you won't succeed? Number two is, are you making the business more complicated than it needs to be? If you're constantly like saying things to yourself like, I don't want to say this because then somebody might think this, or I don't want to invite this person because they might respond with this, this, or this. Or if you're trying to think 20 steps ahead and you're making, you're having these conversations with people in your head and coming up with excuses that they might come up with, you're overcomplicating things. It does not have to be that difficult to put a post up, to put a message out there, to send a message, to ask a question. It's not hard. It's easy to do and it's easy not to do. And unfortunately, most of us choose the easy not to do, Don't be weird, just be you. That is something that Bonnie likes to say over and over. So I kind of like it. But then I'm like, we are weird. So be weird, be you. Be your wonderfully weird self is what I tell Reagan all the time. You're so wonderfully weird, because she is. But I want her to know that it's a good thing. Anyways, when you send messages, guys, and you send like those invitations and whatnot, make it 2 or 3 lines. Like, don't feel like you have to explain even why you're sending the message. I know we have like these scripts out there and keys and guidelines to follow when you're messaging people, but it literally can be as simple as, hey, I just stumbled across your picture of your new puppy. It is so adorable. By the way, you've been on my mind because I think you'd make a great coach. Have you ever considered it? That is so simple and so easy, and all they can say is thank you and no, I never have. That's not a hard answer to hear. That's not something that is going to like knock you down or ruin your business to hear an answer like that. I mean, that's literally the worst that they can say. Or they can be like, no, I would never do that. That's stupid. But then again, they don't really know what they're talking about. So why would you accept that answer either? You know what I mean? Like, you're overcomplicating it when you try to come up with all these reasons why you shouldn't invite, or you shouldn't send this message, or you can't, or you don't know what to say, or you don't know how to respond. Like, just stop. You do know how to respond. Somebody says something, you have that initial gut reaction of what to say. It pops into your head the minute that you read the message. Just say that. Just say the first thing. Stop trying to craft it. Stop trying to make it so perfect and sound so eloquent and sound so professional, and say just the right thing. Because you can say the right thing to the wrong person and it won't matter. They'll still want to join. And you can say the wrong thing to the right person and it won't matter. They still won't succeed with this. Keep that in mind. Number 3, are you really making sacrifices? There are so many different times throughout the day where I catch myself scrolling on Facebook, and I know that I just wasted 15 minutes of my time that I could have been doing something. And for me, it's like I put off doing something like moving my laundry from the washer to the dryer because I'm scrolling on Facebook, because I know that I do my business activities that I need to do. But, are you making sacrifices? Sacrifices must be made in the first year or 2 of your business. Like, you have to do it. When Travis deployed, granted, that gave me extra time where I wasn't having to fight with my husband over the amount of time that I was spending on my business because he just wasn't here. But I didn't watch like any TV that entire time. He was gone for 9 months. And I don't know that you can talk to one other military wife who didn't binge on Netflix during that deployment. Like, that's all I heard about. And I'm not knocking military wives. Obviously, I'm one of them. But I didn't watch TV. When Reagan was in bed, I was doing my business. And because of that sacrifice, because I gave up my tabloids and I gave up my reality television addiction that I had, I'm able to now enjoy the things that I want to enjoy and not worry about my business. Because I sacrificed in the first year of my business those things that didn't really matter to me, I'm now able to not look at my business for a week, and still have a paycheck deposited in my account, a substantial paycheck, one that I don't have to worry about for my family. So ask yourself, like, there are pockets of time in your day where you can fit this in. You don't have to sit down for 2-3 hour chunks to make this work. You know when you're wasting time, and you need to be doing something that's more productive with that time if you want to make this work. There's things you have to say no to, there's sacrifices that have to be made. What are you willing to go without now to have what you want most? That's what you need to ask yourself. And ask yourself, is this moving me forward? Is this the best use of my time? Is this moving me towards my goals? Chances are they're either moving you towards your goals or away from your goals. So that's is it worth moving away from your goals for? Sorry, can't talk. Let's see. Number 4, do you give yourself an excuse not to start? First of all, that's me, like, in a nutshell. Like, I find so many reasons. Actually, Courtney, I'm going to call you out on this. She was just telling me, and I'm the same exact way. When we don't know something, and specifically about technology, like, we just keep putting it off, won't even open it to do it. I mean, the FlexiFit website, guys, I had been meaning to create for quite some time, and I just kept telling myself, like, it's too hard to do. I'm not going to know how to do it. It's going to overwhelm my brain. And then I sat down, and Wix.com, if whoever's watching wants to create a website, it's so easy. And I started building it, and I was like, wow, this is like super simple. Like, I can do this. So sometimes you put things off and you don't even start because you built them into these like huge mountain like problems that they really aren't. And starting is literally the hardest part. Force yourself through that start, and chances are you'll carry it through to the end. The other part of that question is, what is the BS that you're telling yourself? And she talked about like comparing yourself to others, and that somebody's like either the reason that they are successful, the reason they have this is because of this, and you don't have that. I've had actually some coaches tell me like they've never seen somebody who looked like them as a top coach, so they don't think that it's going to be easy for them to get to the top coaches based on what they look like. And that's a story that person is telling themselves to kind of hold themselves back, to give themselves an excuse why they shouldn't even try for like top coach. That's just a random example that came up at the top of my head, but don't give yourself a story to cling to. I clung to social anxiety for so long. Like, if I could go back, I would do what I did January 2015 and like, April 2014, a few months after I started. If I could have done then, like, I just think in my head how much further along I would be, where I would be. The fact is, I was clinging to that because it gave me an excuse. It gave me a reason why I didn't have to grow fast, why I didn't have to do the invites, why I didn't have to send hey girls, why I didn't have to do this, this, and this. I had a way out because I was clinging to the story that I was telling myself. So think about the story that you're clinging to, the story that's like you're allowing to define you. You're allowing it to define your future. Your past, because it is your past, is now defining your future and where you can go in your life and in this business. Not just this business, guys. This is like your life. Like, social anxiety didn't just affect my business, it affected my life. If I didn't have this business, I would not be the person that I am today because I wouldn't know how to overcome that story. I wouldn't know how to let go of that. So it's very powerful stuff, what you tell yourself. To that effect, start talking about yourself as if you've already overcome what you're struggling through. Don't say like, I'm socially anxious. Say, when I was socially anxious, I would do this. but now I do this, you know, or when I struggled with food addiction, I would do this, but now I do this. Start identifying with a person who has overcome social anxiety. Start identifying with a person who's overcome whatever it is, whatever limitation you're telling yourself. Question number 5. Are you taking initiative in doing things without prompts? The joy of this business and the pitfall of this business is that you are your own boss. Like, you control what you do. You decide what you do. And it's never, ever, whether if I just like disappeared off the face of the earth, you guys still would not have an excuse not to succeed. You know, it's not a lack of resources, it's a lack of resourcefulness. Anything that you want to figure out, you can. Anything that you're lacking, you can strengthen. Anything that you need help with, there's an answer to it. There's a training for it. There is help out there. It's just a matter of going out and going after what you want. You have to want to get past your excuses, or you're never going to. And I say that, and I know it annoys people because you're like, well, it's not that easy. You don't know what I'm struggling with. You don't know what I'm doing. But the thing is, I do. I was there, and I read all the PD books in the world, and I still continue to read, not all of them, obviously, but I still continue to read them. And, you know, I watched all the trainings, and I was diving into the community of it, and I was doing everything but actually doing the stuff. I was learning everything. I was a pool of resource and knowledge, but I wasn't actually doing anything with it. And I just decided one day that I was going to do something with it. And it really was as simple as making that decision. And it just like, you know, tugs at my heart because I see you guys and I know that you can. And you're just like, you're one decision away from having whatever you want in this business and having whatever, you can identify yourselves however you want. So you can identify yourself as being shy, or you can identify yourself as not being shy. It's that simple. Nobody can tell you who you are and what you are and what characteristics that you own and personality traits you have. You define yourself. You decide that. Are you okay identifying yourself the way that you continue to do so? Or do you want to be different? Are you willing to do whatever it takes to be different, to overcome that limitation? And then number 6, are you doing the work equal to the success that you want? This one, you know, struck me because I would have to say, no, I'm not. I want to be 5-star. I want to be an elite coach, but I haven't been doing the work that's going to get me there. I have not been living up to that goal. And that was a super gut check for me. And I almost let myself, you know, give myself an excuse to not go for that anymore. And luckily I had a call with Andrea today, and she kind of set me back on the right path because I was allowing myself to disassociate myself with that goal because I'm like, I don't really care about that because, you know, my paychecks are where I want them to be, and they're starting to, you know, catch up to where I wanted to be at this stage anyways. So what do I need the next rank for? And her response to me was, if I don't believe that I can be 5-star, then that's saying I don't believe that I have 5 stars underneath me. And I know darn well I do. You know, I have more than 5 rock stars underneath me. It's just a matter that you guys haven't decided that you're going to be a rock star yet, or you have decided and it just hasn't been enough time, whatever the case may be. But I know that my team is a 5-star team. I know my team is a 10-star team. And I know that our team is an elite team. And so for me to disassociate myself with those goals is to say that I don't believe that my team can, or that I don't believe my team will. And I absolutely do. Sorry, I just got an unstable connection. Can you guys all hear me still? We good? Okay. And then the second thing was that I want to be able to show you guys that it's possible, that it can be done, pave the way. As a leader, whether you have one coach under you or, you have 50, it's your job to just show the way by going the way. The best that you can do, the best leader you can be is literally just to do the stuff you're asking your team to do, or to go ahead of the team, to fail ahead of the team, to be willing to fail before the rest of your team does, so that you can tell them that's not the best way to do that. So that's why I've realigned myself with those goals, because I want that much for you guys. Let's see. I think that pretty much, her call had a lot more information on it, but a couple more things that I jotted down that I wanted you to think about is, would you sign you if you were looking for a rock star coach? Based on your behavior, on the way you speak about yourself, the way that you view life, your attitude, your vibe, would you want you on your team? And would you want you on your team based on the behavior that the vital behaviors that you've been doing in your business things? What is it? Would you sign you if you wanted a rock star? And would you sign up with you if you were looking for a rock star coach to lead you to succeed? If you can't say yes to both of those things, then you need to check yourself and ask why. You guys want quality coaches, but would a quality coach want you? And if the answer is no, then you need to ask yourself why that is, and how you can raise your level of raise your standard so that higher quality people are attracted to you, and those people are going to be your emeralds and your diamonds and stuff like that. So, and then remember, guys, let's see, champions aren't made in easy. Nobody ever said, oh, look, that was such a breeze for him to run that. He's such an amazing, inspirational person. Champions are made when it's been difficult, when the road was long, hard, when there was plenty of opportunity to give up, but they didn't. It's not supposed to be easy. It's just going to be worth it. But you need to know that you want to be here. I can't want it enough for you guys, and I want it so bad for you guys. But even that is just not enough. You have to want it yourself. And I know I'm here to inspire you and to encourage you and to tell you that you can, and to guide you in the right way, but I cannot motivate you. Your motivation has to come from within. It's just like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You have all the tools. You have all the answers. You know that. You have all the information. You're probably a cesspool of information. You're just not willing to do the work, and you have to ask yourself why. Why are you not willing to do the work? And I had a few things I wanted to also touch on really quick. I made a list myself just because I wanted to be sure, that I was moving in the right path, because I know sometimes you guys struggle with having content, stay-at-home moms. It's not always the most invigorating, inspiring atmosphere to come up with new posts, but focus on, Bonnie Engel said it many, many times, and, try to make your personal page a sneak peek. So obviously you don't need to necessarily talk about Emerald and Success Club in those terms, because people are going to have a hard time understanding, but think about the things that you love about coaching and make a list of those things. There's got to be something, because you're still here, you're still pushing, you're still trying. So there's something about this that you love. There's something about it that's pulling you in. You need to figure out what that is. What do you love about coaching? Forget what you don't love. Focus on what you do love. Make a list of that. Then your posts, when you don't have, like, when you're not doing amazing things that day and you don't have inspiration and you don't have creativity, make a post about something that you love about coaching. It's so simple. Like, it doesn't have to be exactly what you're doing in that moment. I can't tell you how many pictures I use that I've taken, that we had family pictures taken a few times over the last, past few months. And I just use those when I need a picture in the moment and I want to make a post about the business. Just use one of those pictures. It's simple. Go back to your old phone and put a new filter on a picture that you've already used and throw it up there with some new words. People don't realize, but it's adding value and it's adding quality to your page and it's giving information to people that they may need. So your first assignment, you have 3 assignments here. Your first one is, what about this business brings you joy? What do you like doing and what do you like having because of this business? You need to figure that out, and that needs to be something that you post about consistently. It's going to be different for everybody too. Like, Courtney is a very challenge-oriented coach. She loves the fitness aspect of it. I'm a very business-oriented coach. I love this. I love mentoring. I love helping people. That's what I love about it. Well, Courtney helps people too, but just I didn't want to take that away from you. You do help. You're very helpful. Number 2, your second assignment is, what successes do you have because of coaching? And before you say nothing, you have something. I don't care if you've been coaching for a month. You have something. You have some success to talk about. And it doesn't have to be a monetary value. It doesn't have to be a weight loss. It doesn't even have to be that you overcame a personality type, anxiety or whatever it is. But you're on your way. There's something about it that's giving you hope. If you're still socially, I keep going back to that because I was that. If you're socially anxious, you're here because you have hope that this will bring you out of that. That's what you talk about. And that's actually my third assignment. What successes will you have because of coaching? So if you feel like you don't have a ton of successes to talk about because of coaching yet, why are you still here? What are you hopeful for? What is coaching going to do for you? There's an answer to that question. And when you run out of motivation, you need to look back at that and be like, what do I want more? Do I want to be lazy? Do I want to watch this TV program? Do I want to scroll Pinterest for no good reason? Or do I actually want to retire my husband? Or do I actually want to be happy with myself in my clothing? Do I actually want whatever it is? The dream house in a few years. That was one of mine. I did these homework assignments because I'm in the trenches with you guys. That's why there's not a lot of smiles on this team call. It's making me sad, but had to be done. Anyways, I made a list of sneak peek topics, and I'll be glad to post a file. I think there might be a file in Flexi Fit Club of sneak peek topics. When you don't have posts to talk about, when you don't have creativity and inspiration and you don't want to be on Facebook because you don't think that you have any value to add, post about a sneak peek topic. Post about something that you want this business to do for you. It could be a daydream. Just share your daydream on Facebook. It's so simple. It's so simple to do, and it's so simple not to do. Stop choosing not to do it. Choose the other one. Simple. I think that's it. Do you guys still love me? Okay, so unmute yourselves. Let's get chatty. I don't want you guys to just go and be like, thank you, and take off. I really want to hear. Everybody doesn't have to share if you don't want to, but I want to hear somebody tell me a few things that they love about coaching and a few things that coaching is going to do for them. Like, I just want to hear something positive and uplifting?
I like the excitement when customers get excited about getting their products. And like I have a customer right now, she's super excited about signing up, but we're having a little technical difficulties. But she's still excited. She's still talking about how excited she is. So
yeah,
that's what I like.
And those are great posts. You can create so many posts off of just one idea, you know? So you're talking to more than one person a day. I know you are. Anybody else with
like I like having the support. Like if I have questions, I know I can search them on frequently asked questions, but like sometimes I don't even think of a question that somebody else might ask, and then like I'll be like, oh, that's really good, like this is what I think the answer would be, and then somebody else comes back. Like today I was like, who was it that posted, how do you like get your link so people can order challenge packs off your page or whatever, you know? And so I did like the first way, and I'm learning that there's quicker links and things out there, so that was cool. But just I don't know, I'm still at the beginning stages, but I think it's just great to have each other. It's very positive, and to like be more conscious of what you're eating and like your fitness, and it just like uplifts your mood. And I feel like you carry that day to day, like in your personal relationships, whether you know it's at, say like it's at home or at school or whatever. I just feel like I'm happier doing this than I was before.
Sarah was coaching. Sorry, Sarah, I'm calling you out. She coached and then actually ended up quitting, and then actually ended up signing back up because she missed it. And like that, I feel like that's a powerful testimony, because it's literally just the people, you know, it's the friendships, it's the community, and it's a good thing, and it can be such a good thing.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Sarah. Sorry, my computer's being like super strange, but thank you, Noelle, for saying that. And like, I really did miss everyone. I think the biggest thing was like, I was just like letting myself like completely go, like health wise. And I realized how much I really missed like taking care of myself and having people who supported that. Because as my job, like as a real estate agents are nuts, and they like don't sleep and they don't eat right. And I really just miss being around people who like, you know, make their health a priority. So I'm happy that I found that with you guys.
These are great post ideas. Just throwing that out there. Let's talk about what are some stories that we're hanging up to. What are some of our limitations and our excuses that we're telling ourselves to keep ourselves from success?
Inadequacy, I think, is one big one that I struggle with. Inadequate in all areas too, not just specifically one. Like every single thing you can think of, that's my excuse. I'm inadequate.
And I can super relate to that, because that was a major contributor to my social anxiety.
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't measure up to stay-at-home moms, because I wasn't like crafty and, you know, cook well. And then I didn't measure up to people who had jobs, because I was just a stay-at-home mom. And like, I struggled with that. I struggled with it in school. I mean, it is a struggle.
That was my ticket, like out of that. When I was a stay-at-home mom, I felt bad, first of all, because I went from a career to being home by myself. But I'm like, no, this is good. I can shut off everybody, so I don't have to. I didn't have Facebook. I didn't go anywhere. And then I realized very quickly that it was kind of like, all right, now I feel like I'm worthless, and I am just a mom, and I didn't like that either. So this is the first time I've had this many girlfriends and haven't felt like I'm going to get like stabbed in the back, or I had work friends in work, but that was kind of like a safe environment. But
no, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
the same way. Most good friends that I've had, like real friends. It's funny because everyone's like, oh, it's, you know, social media, it's virtual. But no, this is real. This is real relationship. This is your real life. And I try to iterate that. And if I can toot my own horn here, I thought that it was a brilliant, a brilliant observation, is that so many times, like, people, they just, like, they put off the challenges in life and they don't want to go through the struggle, and they don't want, but that is life. Like, there's no after this. There's no, like, after things settle down and after I feel better about myself and after, like, no, this is it. This is your life. This isn't just like the little coaching thing. And yeah, you can decide tomorrow that you don't want coaching to be a part of your life. But while it is, this is your life. And you're not like Coach Candace only. You're just Candace, who is also a coach. And I think we forget that too when we overcomplicate the messages that we send and the way we talk to people. They're not coming to you expecting you. Some of them are. I had to tell a girl yesterday that I'm not a fitness expert. Like, I can't give her, just like design a workout routine for her, which is, I should send her to Courtney or somebody. But but the thing is, like, people aren't coming to you expecting you to be anybody but who you are, and also knowing that you're a Beachbody coach and you can help them.
That's what was so hard. I was like, I didn't even know who I was because I lived in this little bubble. Like, I was so cut off from like relationships, and I didn't even know who I was. I just like to work out and hang out with my family.
Who are you around your family? That's who you are.
Yeah, I guess.
Who are you when it's just you know, your fiance and your kids?
Really goofy. We laugh a lot, I guess.
There you go.
That's who you are.
Yeah.
And you're also a coach.
Right.
You're goofy Candace, and you happen to be linked to Beachbody.
Right.
You know? So when you talk to people, and I know it's harder for you, but as you post on social media, you know, your personality is starting to come through. And then when you talk to people, you don't have to be anybody. You don't have to be professional. You don't have to say the right words or use the right words.
Hang on, Sean's. Oh, hang on.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's a way to simplify. Anybody else got a story that's haunting them? They're just clinging to?
I tried starting a group. We have one going. It's like kind of friends and family. It's pretty small. And like, I feel like Amy and like 2 other moms and like myself are the only ones commenting ever. So I didn't want to invite people because I hate getting added to groups without their permission, kind of thing.
Yeah, don't do that.
So I was like, I threw it out there. I was like, if you don't want to be a part of this group, that's totally fine. You know, I'm going to start a new group and we're going to do like an accountability, like fitness, health, you know, kind of thing. So if you guys want to be a part of it, message me. And literally no one. So Amy's like, I do. And I'm like, it's always just us two. Like, we could be at a party and we go to another room. Everyone leaves. It's just us. We go, hey guys, everyone ends up leaving. So I feel like I really like took a big step and tried starting a group, and nobody wanted to be a part of it. So now Amy and I are just doing it. So at least I'm not going to let myself fall under. Like, they'll come around.
Don't let them drag you down.
Be persistent, I guess. They'll come around because
keep leading by example, sister.
Yeah. I can't just let myself go. Like, yeah, I had pizza for dinner, but I mean, I really have been like trying a lot harder. And Amy holds me accountable. She's like, did you work out? Did you prep your food for the week? Did you do? And she's on me about it. So that's good.
It's good you have each other then.
Yeah. She's like my Lindsay to you, I think. Like,
yeah, that's what
I'm hoping we can start like our own little flexi fit, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, coach thing.
Partnership. That's good. All right, ladies. Well, think about these things. Like, seriously, give them some thought. I'm going to start a thread in the PS page, and I really, really hope that you guys that were on this call will go in there and answer your assignments and just share. Just start really being honest with yourself, because you can say that you're doing the stuff that you're supposed to do till you're blue in the face, but at the end of the day, if your business is not moving forward, and it hasn't been moving forward, something's missing, and chances are you probably know what. You probably know what's holding you back. So look over those assignments, think about it. I'm going to start a thread, like I said, on the PS page. Go in there, give me some sort of list. I just want to see where your head is at and what I can best help you with. And thank you guys so much for getting on this call, because I felt like important to say. So glad you're on it.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right.